I scored 11 in CELPIP Reading, and this video I'm going to be sharing how you too can get the best score possible. Now, scoring high in CELPIP Reading is not about reading quickly. It's about knowing what to look for in each task. That's why I'll be doing a walkthrough of the 4 CELPIP tasks. I'll be sharing strategies to help you aim for accuracy and avoid common mistakes. We'll be solving together. I'll be solving some practice questions with answers. And lastly, I'll be sharing like tips to help you do the best on test day, because we know exams are not a true test of knowledge, but with some tips here and there, you could elevate your score and get the best score possible. So let's move ahead straight to the overview of the 4 CELPIP tasks. Task 1 is reading correspondence. You have 11 minutes to answer 11 questions. For reading correspondence, usually an email or like a letter. Questions they ask you are usually to find like the purpose of the email, specific details of the email or the letter. It's just to test your, how well you can understand written communication. Number 2 is reading to apply a diagram. You have 9 minutes to answer 8 questions. Usually used to interpret information from like a chart, a notice, or an ad. It's usually just help to test how well you can connect visual information and interpret it. It's actually very simple. I actually like task 2, but like I said, always the more you progress, the more it gets harder. Task 1 is technically easier than task 2, and it gets harder as you progress. Part 3, reading for information. You have 10 minutes to answer 9 questions. Here you will read a short passage, usually an article or an informational text, and you have to answer factual questions on it. It's just to see if you can pick out key details from, a particular passage. Part 4 is technically one of the hardest, reading for viewpoints. You have 13 minutes to answer 10 questions. What makes this one slightly tricky is that there are like 2 or 3 people in the passage with multiple perspectives or opinions, and you have to, not to mix up one person's opinion for another. So it's testing your ability to compare and contrast views or different viewpoints essentially. All right, are you enjoying this video so far? Please don't forget to tap the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate you by making that move to please tap the subscribe button. A lot of people enjoy the videos and like, oh, your video was so helpful, but they forget to just tap that subscribe button. So please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's move on to strategy. You don't have enough time for any of the 4 tasks. The time is short. 11 minutes to answer 11 questions, 9 minutes to answer 8 questions, 10 minutes to answer 9 questions, 13 minutes to answer 10 questions. So the strategy is, the first thing I'll recommend, just skim through. Please don't go straight to the answers and start looking for the answers, even though that might work. Just skim through. Your brain and your eyes have a way of picking out keywords. Skim through to understand what it's all about, like to understand the theme of the passage or the email. Are they talking about a party? Are they giving like a notice? Is it like are they giving an important information? Is it a work email or what is the ad about? A discount on the ad. So you need to just skim through, like really quickly skim through the entire passage. Don't just jump to the questions already. I know you're trying to save time, but skim through the entire passage, just like, scanning your eyes. Your eyes will pick keywords, even though you skim through it in a minute or 2. Once you skim through, now read all the questions and answers. So if you have 5 questions, 8 questions, read all the questions and answers. Then you start from question 1 and start looking for the answer of question 1 from the passage. And technically, the way reading works is that your first answer usually in the first paragraph or second paragraph. Your second is usually below that. They don't scatter things. It's rare for answers to be scattered around, and it goes below. Start with question 1, read the question and answer, then scan through, look for the answer. Then the last thing I'll say is that look out for synonyms. It might not be the exact answer as it is shown in the passage. They might, change words. Maybe they said petite and the answer is small. The passage shows petite and your option is small. You know that small means petite. So look out for synonyms. Synonyms will help you in being able to fish out the answers quickly. If you found the answer, click it immediately. Don't start trying to second guess yourself and look at, oh, is this the correct answer? Once you find the answer from the passage, go ahead and move, because you don't have time. I was really lucky that someone told me ahead of the time that he did not finish some questions in his reading, so I knew ahead of time to read my passage really quickly and answer on time. But for time, I'm not going to do like a full-blown 11 questions. We'll be solving 2 questions for each category, just to give you a full overview of everything. Okay, let's go ahead. So for reading correspondence, dear John, I wanted to let you know that our company has decided to implement a new hybrid work policy starting next month. Employees will be required to work in the office 3 days a week and can work from home for the remaining 2 days. Management believes this balance will increase productivity while maintaining flexibility. Please let me know if you have any concerns or questions. Sincerely, Anna. Now we have 2 questions. What is the purpose of Anna's email? A, to announce a salary increase. B, to request feedback on a project. C, to introduce a new work policy. And D, to inform about a company relocation. I'm going to pause for 5 seconds. Did you find the answer? The answer is C. So right here in the first sentence, it says company has decided to implement a new hybrid work policy starting next month. That's the answer, C, to introduce a new work policy. Nothing about the salary increase or feedback on a project. So the answer is C. Now question 2. According to the passage, how many days a week will employees work from home? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 seconds. So the answer is 2. Correct answer is B. So right there in the second sentence, it says employees will be required to work in the office 3 days a week and can work from home for the remaining 2 days. So 3 days hybrid policy, 3 days in the office and 2 days at home. So the answer is B. For task 1, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's literally there in front of you. You just have to be patient to look for it where it is in the paragraph. Reading to apply a diagram. We have a schedule here for the community library. It says community library summer event schedule. Mondays, children's story time, 10 a.m. Tuesdays, resume writing workshop, 6 p.m. Wednesdays, book club, 7 p.m. and Saturdays, movie nights, 5 p.m. Now, our first question, which events will be most suitable for someone looking to improve their career opportunities? Honestly, even if I didn't read the passage, I could already answer the question, but please always read your passage just to confirm. They can try to play a fast one on you, but please always read everything just to confirm. It might have been something closely related to resume writing, but not exactly what it is. So A, book club. B, movie night. C, children's story time. Resume writing workshop is D. So the correct answer is D, resume writing workshop. In the charts, they didn't say anything about career opportunities, and the question was someone looking to improve their career opportunity. You had to imply and deduce from the question that it will only be resume writing that will be related to someone trying to improve their career opportunities. Let's move to task 3, reading for information. Online learning has become increasingly popular over the past decade, especially with advancements in technology and internet access. Many students appreciate the flexibility of studying from home, which allows them to balance school with work or family responsibilities. However, some argue that online classes lack the social interaction and hands-on learning that traditional classrooms provide. Despite these challenges, most experts agree that online learning will continue to grow as an important part of education. Before I move ahead with the questions, one thing to note is that it's from task 3 that it really starts getting complicated. Task 1 and task 2 are quite a breeze. From task 3, it starts getting quite complicated. So you please be careful when you're reading for information. So let's go to question 1. Which of the following is mentioned as a benefit of online learning? A, more group activities. B, better access to libraries. C, versatility for students. D, increased social interaction. Give you 5 seconds. So the correct answer is C, versatility for students. Now they play the fast one on us here. Look at the second sentence. Many students appreciate the flexibility of studying from home. They never said in the passage an advantage of studying from home is flexibility. And in the passage, they use the word flexibility, but in the options, they use the word choice of versatility. So you can see that they're using synonyms to play a fast one on you. If you didn't know that flexibility also meant versatility, you would have been tempted to select a wrong option. But it clearly says there, appreciates the flexibility and versatility for students. Also, like I said, they never said benefits or advantage. They just said many students appreciate the flexibility. So please read to understand what is going on, just so you don't mistakenly pick the wrong answer. But the correct answer was C. Did you get it? Good job. Now, question 2. What do experts predict about the future of online learning? A, it will decline in popularity. B, it will remain unimportant. C, it will steadily expand. D, it will replace traditional schools completely. 5 seconds. So the correct answer is C, it will steadily expand. If we look right there in the last sentence, it says, despite these challenges, most experts agree that online learning will continue to grow as an important part of education. The emphasis is on continue to grow, but the option was it will steadily expand. Continue to grow, steadily expand. Synonyms. Please, synonyms. It is rare. It is rare from like tax 2, tax 3 for you to see the exact phrase. They kind of switch things a bit just to also test your grammar proficiency. So please, let's always realize that they switch things, but the meaning always remains the same. So now let's move to tax 4, reading for viewpoints. Now this is quite lengthy. I don't want to say that the questions are set up, or the passage is set up to trick you into choosing the wrong answer, because here we are reading 3 people's viewpoints. If there's person A, person B, person C, and you mistakenly think the viewpoint of person A is the viewpoint of person C, you will select a wrong answer. So let me read this passage. Many residents in Greenfield have been debating whether the city should invest more in building bike lanes. Sarah argues that cycling is an eco-friendly mode of transport and that safer bike lanes would encourage more people to leave their cars at home, which will help reduce traffic congestion and air pollution. Now, David disagrees, saying that expanding bike lanes takes away valuable road space that cars need, and not everyone can cycle, especially those with long commutes and physical limitations. He believes that the city should focus instead on improving public transportation. Now we have Lily. Lily takes a middle ground, explaining that both bike lanes and better public transportation are important. In her view, if the city invests in multiple eco-friendly options, residents will have more freedom to choose how they commute while still reducing reliance on private cars. So in this passage, reading for viewpoints, we had Sarah, we had David, we had Lily. So it is important for you to know the viewpoints of each person and not mix them up. You understand Sarah's viewpoints, but you mistakenly think that is Lily's viewpoints. David, don't mistake David with Sarah or Lily as well. There are 3 different people with 3 different viewpoints. First question, what is the main concern raised by David? A, bike lanes are too expensive to build. B, bike lanes reduce road space for cars. C, bike lanes cause more pollution. And D, bike lanes increase commute times. 5 seconds. So the answer is B, bike lanes reduce road space for cars. David disagrees, saying that expanding bike lanes takes away valuable road space that cars need. That's where the answer is. So you could see that it was not the same way it is written in the answers that it was in the passage. The passage says David disagrees, expanding bike lanes takes away valuable space, but the answer says reduces road space for cars. They mean the same thing, just expressed differently. So like I said again, synonyms. Now, question 2, which of the following best describes Lily's opinion? Before I go into this, you also have to be really careful when they say best describes, because there might be some supporting statements by Lily which will be presented in the option, but you have to look for the one that is holistically what her viewpoint is. Yeah, so let's go through that. A, the city should only build bike lanes. B, the city should only improve public transports. C, city should provide several sustainable choices. And D, city should not spend money on transportation projects. 5 seconds. So what do you think the answer is? The answer is C, city should provide several sustainable choices. Now, if we look at Lily, she said in her view, just right there in the beginning of the last sentence, in her view, if the city invests in multiple eco-friendly options, residents will have more freedom. So she said the city should provide several sustainable choices. Now, eco-friendly means sustainable, green. There are many other words for eco-friendly. They didn't use the same eco-friendly that they use in the passage in the answers. So please always make note of that. So we can see now from the 4 tasks, reading the correspondence is usually news or an email. Reading the diagram, you have like a picture there. It could be an ad, it could be a notice, it could be a schedule. You have to pick out information from that picture or visual to answer question. Reading for information is a passage with an article. It can be an informational text. It could be a film, it could be about history, it could be about a celebration, a national holiday. It's just information. While viewpoints, you have 1, 2, 3 people sharing different viewpoints, and you have to selectively choose the person's viewpoints according to what their opinions are, not mistaking one for the other. Now that we've gone through all of that, I'll be giving some test day tips. Now, like I said earlier, your timing is not enough. You have 9 minutes to answer 9 questions, 11 minutes to answer 10 questions. The time you will spend reading the whole passage will take so much time. So please aim to finishing everything in 8 or 9 minutes. Don't get stuck. You don't want to show about you don't answer a question, and because you spend so much time, second guessing yourself and looking for the answer. Technically, because most of them are about 11 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 13 minutes. So 8, 9 minutes, try to finish on time. The shortest of them all is apply a diagram. They do that because you're not actually reading, but it's just a short, visual. So try to finish on time for the ones where you have to read like a long passage. Moving on, use elimination. If you have 4 options and you know that this was not even mentioned at all, eliminate the answer. This is especially when you are not sure of what it will be. You have 4 options and there's a 25% chance of you getting the right answer. So use elimination to slowly remove options one by one until you land on the right answer. Then also keep moving. If you have like 1 minute left or 30 seconds left and you have 2 or 3 questions that you've not yet answered and you're trying to locate them and you can't find them, just randomly select. There are 4 options and you have a 25% chance of getting the right answer. So rather than leaving it blank, you can just guess. Because if you guess, there is a chance you might be correct. There is no negative marking in CELPIP. So please select something if you're running out of time and you might be lucky and you might get it correctly. It can get really anxious and tense when you see that time counting down and you are still looking through, reading in the line, because what I give are just paragraphs to guide you on how to answer questions. What you get in the exam is quite longer, so you might spend a lot of time looking through and you don't find it. I'll just say be calm for a few minutes. Don't look at the time. The time will keep on reducing whether you look at it or not. Just try your best to stay calm, read the questions and look for the answer selectively. And I said as a tip is that the answer to the first question will be way higher than the second question, third question. So you can use that as a guide. So if you've answered the second and the first question, you're looking for the answer to the third question, it's most likely going to be below just the answer to the second question. Don't second guess yourself. If you feel like you found the right answer, don't now be double checking. You don't have that time. Like I said, skim quickly through the entire passage, look at the questions and use that to answer. And once you answer, move on, and hopefully you selected the correct answer. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I've made videos on speaking and writing and you can find them here. I'll put a card. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye-bye.